This is one of the biggest puzzles in the world, and we solved it in only 3 days. But then we immediately destroyed it. But let's back up. This all happened at the National Jigsaw Puzzle Championships 2024. I included some clips of this in my video about nationals, but it was at the end of an 1.5-hour long video, so I don't blame you if you didn't make it there. But there's a lot more that I wanted to share about this puzzle, so let me tell you how it all went down, both figuratively and literally. So at Nationals 2022, they started the tradition of having everyone work together on a giant puzzle outside of the competition. However, the puzzle they chose was the 18,000 piece Castle Through the Seasons from Ravensburger. And as you'll know, if you've watched my other giant puzzle videos, puzzles that are this big come separated out into sections. For this one, it was 4 sections of 4,500 pieces each. But unfortunately, we didn't finish it. This puzzle is really hard, with a lot of similar texture over large sections. So we definitely made progress, but it just wasn't gonna happen. So fast forward to Nationals 2024, and they made a few changes. The giant puzzle that they chose this time is from Kodak, and it's called 27 Wonders of the World. This one is 51,300 pieces, so a significant increase from the 18,000 piece puzzle in 2022. But here's the thing, when you divide it up, it is 27 puzzles that are 1,900 pieces each. And a 1,900 piece puzzle goes much, much faster than a 4,500 piece puzzle. And then each section is an easier image with a lot of different stuff that you can easily sort out. And this is probably the most important part. There were a lot more people working on it. At Nationals 24, they introduced a convention pass, which got you access to the casual puzzling room, as well as other puzzle programming outside of the main competition, which is a great way for people who don't like speed puzzling to come together and still be a part of the event. And also, the competition sold out really quickly, so if you didn't get a spot, you could still come to the event and participate. So, over the 3 days that Nationals was happening, they had the casual puzzling room open, and people were just working through every single section of this puzzle. They hung up the poster on the wall, and they had a sign saying that you should take a photo of the section that you were working on. That way, the poster stayed intact and nobody had to fight over it. So just a little info about this puzzle. Here you can see all of the locations that are included. This comes from the official instruction book, which you can download online and read the entire thing. So in case you're wondering, feel free to pause here if you want to read the official instructions for how to do a 51,000 piece puzzle. Also, they do include a process for replacing missing pieces, which we probably could have used later on in the video. You'll see. Okay, so after day 1 of the competition, I jumped in on one of the sections. I ended up sitting with a bunch of puzzlers that you'll recognize if you watched my Nationals videos. We stayed up a little longer than we meant to because we all still had to compete the next day.
I did not want to be committed to this, and I think I'm committed.
I know. I agree.
But if there's anything about puzzlers, it is that we cannot leave a puzzle unfinished.
Yay! Good team. Okay, let's show the camera our beautiful puzzle.
So then, on day 3, between the individual final and the award ceremony, they brought all of the sections downstairs, and then they started attaching everything together. This was very important. They also brought the poster so they would know what order everything had to go in. The organizers had planned ahead and bought these large sheets of foam board, so each section could be moved individually. And since it was down on the floor, it was totally fine to step on the puzzle as long as you took off your shoes.
I feel like I'm in a Karen Puzzles large format video, like in the studio.
Yeah, this is not correct.
I'm learning so much right now.
Not match up. Oh no, there's an issue.
What's next to neutral and C?
So they got it mostly together, and I took some video of the mostly completed puzzle, just in case this was as far as it got. But after the award ceremony, they brought down the last 3 sections, which all only had the sky left.
Or the poetic.
I'm on a runner's high. What's that for puzzle? Puzzler's high.
And one by one, each section got finished and put into place. So we did it. We finished a 51,300 piece puzzle in only 3 days.
Ready?
Yep, we're going.
That was so dizzy.
The puzzle measures 28.5 feet by 6.25 feet. So if you guys remember the other giant puzzles that I've done on this channel, here is how they all compare to each other. And here is how it compares to some other common things, if it helps you get your head around it. It really is a giant puzzle. So then the question is, what did we do with it? The puzzle was missing a bunch of pieces, which happens when you have so many people working on it. So no one really wanted to take it home. So that night, a bunch of us were just hanging out in the competition room, doing some casual puzzling, maybe drinking a little bit of wine. And as it was getting late, I started asking, okay, what are we doing with the puzzle? Because if it's something interesting, I want to make sure that I stay up and film it. I don't think the hotel staff would have been okay with us leaving a 28-foot-long puzzle on the floor of their ballroom. Can you imagine the cleaners who come in the next day and they're like, literally, what is this? So we decided that this was the perfect opportunity to attempt the world's largest puzzle pickup. And just roll the tape.
All right, I'm filming. I'm going.
Okay, we're gonna count 3, 2, 1, go!
Whoa!
We love you, puzzle. I'll make you a mermaid. What's happened here?
Is this where I'm going to bed now?
Adults are in charge.
Yeah, okay. Oh. Guys, this is the most relaxing thing I've done all weekend.
So don't worry, we did clean up all of the puzzle pieces afterwards, although I wouldn't be surprised if they did find 1 or 2 rogue pieces around the hotel from all of the puzzling that was happening all weekend. But yes, the title is a little misleading because technically we didn't do a 51,300 piece puzzle. We did 27 1,900 piece puzzles that all happen to connect to each other. But just, I mean, look at all these pieces. If we had mixed it all together, I think the sorting alone would have taken all weekend, and that's just not fun for anyone. Above all else, puzzling is supposed to be fun. But do you know what was fun?
And that winner is...
Did not rig it.
William Shandling.
Okay, so do you remember when William won the giant Disney puzzle in the raffle? Well, he invited over a bunch of us to try to complete an entire section all in one day. So here's how that went. Okay, we are attempting to do an entire section of the 40,000 piece puzzle today. Do you guys think we can do it?
We're gonna try. We'll see.
That was not a resounding yes. So it's 2 p.m. right now, and this is what we're starting from. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so all of this initial work was done by the Orange County Speed Puzzlers group. They did all of the sorting up front, which was so helpful. Each section is 4,032 pieces, and I was pretty optimistic that we could finish it. So we were working on the Snow White section up in the corner. Okay, every time we get in a big section, ha! Yay!
We're basically done now.
All right, we have a connection happening.
Incoming. Better fit.
Wow, look at that. Sarah, what's in your hand?
Butts.
This is why you can't put a microphone down you during competitions.
Okay, so the puzzle ended up being a little harder than I anticipated. Even with working with so many top puzzlers, I tried a bunch of different sections before I found one that I felt like I could make any progress on. And this was also the day right after VidCon, so my energy definitely dipped after the first couple hours of puzzling. At one point, I was literally just lying down on the floor until I felt ready to get back into it. All right, it's just about 6 o'clock. I think all of us are fading a little bit, but but we're making progress. It definitely looks better. What do you do, Sarah? What just happened?
I put some pieces in.
Yay! So here's where we were at 6 p.m. when we stopped for dinner for about a half hour, and then we got right back into it. In the time lapse, you can see people filtering back in after dinner, and I really do think in a perfect world, we all would have just stayed up and finished it that night. Like, we definitely had the ability to, but it was a Sunday and everyone had to work the next day. So at 9 p.m., unfortunately, we just had to call it. So here's where we ended up, which I think is still pretty good. You can see how much progress we made in only 6.5 hours. And that's what I think is so beautiful about giant puzzles, or just puzzles in general. Living a chronically online life, it's pretty easy to get discouraged about how people behave. But I love getting off the computer and working together as a team on a big real life project. I remember on the live stream, they said something like, nobody even knows it's raining because everyone is just inside puzzling. This is the perfect activity where there really is only one correct answer, but you really do have to work as a team to get there. And the thing about puzzles is that unless you glue or tape them, they're inherently transient. I think we all knew that nothing permanent would be produced by us finishing it, but all of us crazy puzzlers decided that this project was how we wanted to spend our time and energy, and we did it.